What is going on, guys? This is the Poke Tea Time podcast where we serve you up a cup of the hottest takes on what's going on in the Pokemon community. Today, I am joined by IslandGrown and, same old. We got my co-host, that guy, Yizzy Pokemon.
Who? What?
How's it going, guys?
For me, just had dinner, have a full belly, ready to talk some Pokemon,
Yeah.
Kind of gone through my day already. I mean, I'm in the last time zone, so I'm still going through my day. It's only 5 p.m. here, so.
That's insane. It's
In
insane.
Hawaii.
Living in Hawaii.
I've been dying to say this because I was trying to hold it back, so I'm gonna say it right now.
Okay,
I was this. My birthday is at the end of the month, and I was this close to going to Hawaii.
Really?
Yeah.
This close. I know a lot of things like this size, but that's sick. Next time you should pull the trigger and come down, dude. Let me know when you're here.
Yeah.
Have some fun.
I was looking at flights and everything. Yeah, for my birthday.
I just want to go see where Jurassic Park was filmed. So.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah, there's some areas like that if you like hiking. So.
Yeah.
Like, if you had to recommend just one spot to go, where should I go if I go to Hawaii?
What do you want to do though? You trying to get something to eat? You trying to come down and go to the beach? Or it depends on what you want to do.
Is there something that Hawaii provides that you can't get around the state?
I mean the beach. So maybe go snorkeling. I would say is a good one. Hanama Bay. Go down there snorkeling. It's like a nature reserve where no one ever can go fishing there ever.
Like a volcano.
Not really a volcano. It's like a little bay area, and it's pretty nice. It's really nice. Yeah.
Okay.
Yeah.
Can I hit you up if I go?
Hit me up anytime, dude.
Heck yeah.
Yeah.
But yeah. What are you eating there, Shiv?
Pickled ginger.
Pickled ginger. Dang.
Food of Pokemon champions. Got it.
We need to properly introduce IslandGrown. We don't do that. We haven't been doing that in a while. Properly introducing our guests. We just go into and start talking we're hanging out.
But it is us hanging out. You know what I mean? But
all right, let me get that WWE intro for IslandGrown.
All right, introduce me. Yeah, come on, introduce me. I'm ready.
Come on, Shiv.
Oh, I thought you were doing it.
No, you.
This evening we got IslandGrown. IslandGrown is probably one of the biggest Twitch streamers that we possibly had on our podcast. This guy has been breaking boxes left and right. And this evening we're going to be talking about breaking boxes. Before we get right into it, I kind of want to talk to IslandGrown. When we were talking in Orlando, the conversation was everyone knows the box breaker IslandGrown. Everyone knows the video game player streamer on Twitch. But we kind of want to know who IslandGrown is as far as the collector, as far as the content creator goes. And so I thought, what better opportunity to introduce our community towards your community and see where that goes. And obviously we know you're a cool person. We've spent some time talking to each other. I know Yizzy hung out with you too, as well as in Orlando. So let's get right into it. Do you
Everybody welcome IslandGrown. Yeah.
Everyone put fire emojis in the chat. Everyone send rocket ship emojis in the chat. We would greatly appreciate that.
I love it. I feel welcome. I feel welcome. Thank you.
Sorry, there's nothing but love here. I'm just kind of tired.
I'll handle the intros next time. Shit.
I mean, that's why I was, dude. I was caught off guard. I was like, hey, this guy got some on lock. All right. Excuse me. So, IslandGrown, do you like going by IslandGrown, or do you like going by your real? Okay. So,
IslandGrown's good. A lot of people call me IslandGrown. You can call me Brian. I mean,
okay.
A lot of time people just say Island. Island works. Yeah.
For sure. So, Brian, I just want to know, how'd you get started in? Well, tell us how you got into Pokemon. Is it that typical story where you started as a kid and?
Yeah.
I'm laughing only because Shiv was like, "Oh, you like IslandGrown?" He's like, "Yeah, I like being called IslandGrown." All right, Brian. He just said he likes being called Island. You're like, "Okay, Brian." That's why I was laughing. Gosh.
Anything works. You can call me anything. Right. But in terms of collecting, standard story, right? Everybody, used to collect cards, played Pokemon. The whole Pokemon craze back in the day, that was literally during my time, right? I'm turning 30 this year, so if you kind of go back, that's perfect at my time when the games are coming out, the cards are coming out, the craze, people bring their binders to school. That's where it all started, right? That's where all the roots of the memories started. But as I grew throughout middle school and high school, I've always played TCG. I mean, I'd probably be the nerd that just always played TCG throughout all of it. Now, it started off with Pokemon, but I definitely played a lot of Magic. I played a lot of Yu-Gi-Oh! And I collected a lot of those things as well. And as it went on, when I was in high school and even to college, I played a lot of competitive Yu-Gi-Oh! So
That's cool.
even through then, after Yu-Gi-Oh, I still collected a lot of Pokemon things, and Pokemon booms in the last like 3, 4, 5, ever since Pokemon Go, right? So started collecting Pokemon cards, and TCG's just been out in my life the entirety of the way from when I was a kid to all the way now. It's just always changed in what I wanted to collect and what I wanted to play, I would say.
That's pretty sick. That's pretty sick. So like, like what kind of got you into breaking? Because I know like roughly around 2020, that kind of adaptation, that kind of craze started taking off roughly around that time. What made you start getting into breaking, and what do you enjoy about breaking?
You know what? I'll take you back even further. I'll get you from the beginning of starting content creating and streaming, right? So I was an accountant before, graduated college, finished my degree, started as an accountant, and started streaming part time. And as I started to stream, it was mainly just because I wanted to stream for fun. You know what I mean? There wasn't as many crazy streamers. I watched a lot of streamers then, and I just wanted to stream for fun. Back then, I was streaming a lot of mobile games. One of the biggest mobile games I was playing was Summoner's War. But I was pretty much all mobile games. Anything mobile games was my jam. Right? That's how my base of the community kind of started. I had a little ultimatum with my job. Didn't like me traveling and stuff. So my job was like, hey, next trip you go on, if you leave, you come back, you don't have a job. So I had to take a decision of, do I go full-time content creating or not? Family, community, my girlfriend at the time, which is my wife now, supported me and all said, you know what, you got your accounting degree, just go full-time content creating. If it doesn't work, at least plan a set amount of time, like 1 year. Doesn't work, come back, maybe go back part-time and go back to accounting. So made the jump, went full-time, and we've been doing it since. And we did a lot of different content. I got to travel to different events, commentate for a bunch of different mobile games and different conventions. And only more recently, like throughout that lifetime, I've integrated little bits of Pokemon, but that's never been my main content into maybe the last couple of years here. It was like me just pulling a pack, right? Like an Evolutions pack, which back in the day, you guys know, were like worth nothing. Like just opening it up on stream, and people on stream would be like, oh, cool. Or my community would be like, oh, cool. He got the Charizard, whatever it is, right? It was never the core content that I had.
Right.
But over time, obviously with that Pokemon boom, I saw that opportunity to combine two worlds together, right? My main profession, my main job, which was full-time content creating, and being able to slowly kind of shift that to one of my biggest passions, and that's TCGs. And with that happening, Twitch exploded with a lot of people wanting to open boxes, wanting to, see the boxes and these vintage boxes being opened. Packs were crazy, the whole Logan Paul thing, right? So there was a big planning of the biggest Twitch streamers on the entire platform opening one vintage box per day for a week.
I remember
called Pokemon Week. Yep. And I was reached out and contacted by my buddies, Trainwrecks, Miz, and Lud, and all them, and they wanted me to help source all the boxes and kind of be their collectible guru with hair, I guess you could say, during the time. I'd like to say I did a pretty good job, I mean, in comparison, but yes, that was kind of my role. And the rest is history. From then on, we just started, I was like, why don't we, sell some packs, open some packs, create these experiences with the community, and continue growing the community that same way I did from the beginning, but now with TCGs, and here we are now.
That's pretty cool how that's kind of like full circle. That's pretty cool how it's full circle. Like you say you did TCGs all the way up through your entire life, and it just kind of became a big part of your career. So that's you're living the dream, man, and that's inspiring to hear.
I actually remember that time on Pokemon Week when you like sourced out the boxes. I think it was like Miz like bought a pack and you were like with him. I strangely remember
Neo Genesis. Miz had the first edition Neo Genesis. That was when that crazy Lugia PSA 10 was like nuts, like something ridiculous, like 100K or something like that. And then he's like, I want that box because I want the chance. You know what I mean? But
yeah, and then like I followed it throughout, and I remember he bought a pack. Maybe it was from Rev. It was like a base set too. And I strangely remember
we did do that.
I strangely remember he pulled a chance, and you're just like, or he pulled something. You're like, yeah, that's not that great. And he got like super hype, and you're like, I'm sorry, dude, it's not.
It's content. It's content.
Like, he's like, I paid 200. You're like, that's like a $20-$30 card.
Yeah.
And he was like,
You
oh.
know what's interesting to talk about is that during that time as well, a lot of people in like the Pokemon community were like, "Wow, these streamers are so stupid. Like they're buying these boxes expecting to pull PSA 10s." You know what I mean? But one of the things that I'd like to tell you guys and for the community to know as well is that these streamers, these content creators, they are professionals at what they do, and I don't want to say they act a certain way, but they create content and they create excitement and disappointment for the content, for the live views. You know what I'm saying?
Yeah.
All of them are way smarter than I think a lot of people in the community give them credit for. They know they're probably not going to be getting 10s. You know what I mean? I've also told them as well, but especially when Miz got his Lugia back and it was like an 8.5, that disappointment he got and everything like that, that's a part of it. He already knew it was not going to be a 10 and things like that. But a lot of people in the community think that they're just stupid streamers that are just trying to spend money to make money or something like that, when that's not actually the actual narrative for a lot of these different streamers. It's just content. And as you can see now on Twitch, they do the same thing. They jump to the next content, GTA, League of Legends, Apex, whatever it is. It's just the next, and providing the best content possible, right? That's entertaining to watch.
Yeah, I think you touched on something like pretty interesting. Like I think it's like unless like you're a content creator, that you often quote unquote rehearse things before putting out that piece of content in a way, or like you kind of direct something to go a certain way for your audience to see and experience in that kind of narrative that you're trying to set. And often at times the audience, like the people who aren't typically producing content, don't really get that kind of side, or get that side, or understand that. Often at times, like when Yizzy or myself are producing content, whether it's conventions or stuff, then it's like, hey, what if we did it like this versus this way? And then we set up the stage, so to speak, and in that way we get views, whether it's on TikTok, whether it's on here or Instagram. So I think that's pretty interesting that you kind of touched on, because like that's something that I think a lot of people, including our community, needed to hear, because oftentimes people have these preconceived notions about Twitch streamers who, to them, were never part of the Pokemon community, who all of a sudden are getting all these big boxes in the most hypest time, and, they just think they're dumb,
Yeah, exactly. Like, oh, they're just trying to make money with buying a $20,000 box and hit all PSA 10s or something like that.
Yeah.
But I'm going to tell you right now, streamers, I mean, they gotta create content. They gotta, get views. And I'm gonna tell you right now, all those boxes that they bought, they definitely made way more money than that through content that they make. But that's something that obviously people don't think about, right? Those guys are so smart. I've hung out with a lot of them, talked to a lot of them. They are way smarter than you can imagine, man. They literally like plan out their whole week of what they're gonna do, what they're gonna interact with, what they're gonna. It's crazy. It's so crazy, dude. It's so crazy. Like I don't know if I even could do that. That's the top level of content creation and I guess collaboration and networking as well. So it's pretty nuts.
Dang. Yeah. Man, it reminds me of like Mr. Beast. I've been like binging Mr. Beast because I've been like getting a lot of burnout and like inspiration. This man, hearing you talk about that, like he just like breathes the content, like he's just thinking the whole time. How can I make it better? How can I make my thumbnails hook better and all this stuff? And man, like hearing you talk about that and them, I mean, their life, I feel like I don't know them, but the way you're talking about it, like they just like analyze and think about it so much and marinate in on it all day.
Everything, every little thing is thought about and like planned and made better and improved at every second. Whereas all you see is the content, right? Oh, he just spent $1 million and did this. Oh, that's great. You know what I mean? Like that's just what we see. But there's so much more that goes down to it.
Dang.
Yeah.
I know it's good to have a group of people too, because then at that point, instead of learning by yourself, your friends are telling you like, hey, this sucks, even though you don't see it. And so like something that may have taken you like 4-5 months to figure out, you figured out within that like 3-4 weeks of that time span that you've been making videos. But that's awesome. Dang.
Yeah, that's a nutshell of how I got to where I am now and where we're at now in terms of content creating.
What would you say is like, with you producing Pokemon content, what would you say for you is the biggest hurdle? What would you say is like your biggest difficulty with that side, or that niche of content for you?
What is the most difficult thing with content? Trying to provide content that is more unique, right? Coming up with different things that people will enjoy, keeping people entertained. staying up to date with everything. I think some of those are some of the hardest things. I mean, on top of that, some of the technical things, right? On the daily of, keeping things organized, shipping things out, because we do regular card breaks like modern boxes, like Brilliant Stars, Evolving Skies. We open a bunch of different things, right? I'd say that stuff's kind of tough too on the back end. But yeah, it's a lot. It's just a lot of time. You know what I mean? There's not enough hours in the day, and there's a lot to do. A lot to do.
You're right about that. There isn't enough time in the day. I wish there was like an extra 2 hours in a day. Then I feel like I could crush it.
Yeah. I tell people that as content creators, the live stream button or the creating of the YouTube video, whatever it is, that's the easiest part. That's what the community needs to know. That's the easiest part of content creating. Like when I go live and I'm interacting with you guys, I'm opening packs, we're having a good time. That's the easiest part. The hardest part is all the back end stuff, all the prep, all the after stuff that needs to be done that is never actually seen, right? All the hours that are put into every single, bit and piece of, the channel itself is probably the hardest.
So like, how much time do you spend on that back end stuff?
I sit here all day, man. Like I wake up and I get my coffee and I sit in front of here and then I'm here all day. Right before stream starts, after stream starts, I literally sit here. Like people tell me, "Hey, wow, you live in Hawaii? It's so amazing. That's crazy. That's awesome." I'm like, yeah, sure. But I sit in four walls. I could literally do this anywhere else. So it really doesn't. Maybe I got a nicer view when I open my window, but
it's work.
Other than that, yeah, it's. I'm here 24/7. Yeah.
Wow.
The grind doesn't stop. The grind doesn't stop.
Do you think it's because you're doing what you genuinely love but you also love the process of what you're doing and that's what kind of keeps you going, 24/7, 365 within the confinements of your room?
Yeah, I think so. Yeah, I love what I do. I love the community. I love the process, like you said. That's a great way to put it. I love the process of how things, happen, right? The planning of a different piece of content, the actual execution of it, and seeing how it all works out, whether it fails or whether it's successful.
I'm gonna ask this question on. I was gonna ask a question on behalf of Yizzy. I was gonna say within all the years that you've been producing content and streaming, have you ever experienced burnout or fatigue from because of the content, and how do you handle that?
Burnout is real. That's for sure. That's something that. Obviously you can see I'm usually pretty damn upbeat, right? Especially on my stream, my content. I mean, even in person, I'm the jokester. I've always been the same way as well. But I would say burnout is real. Though I will also mention that for me, burnout hasn't hit me as hard. I think just the way I am, it hasn't hit me as hard. But from a lot of other content creators and tips of advice that I've gotten from other content creators telling me, just take your time because burnout will happen over time, whether it's a year, 2, 3, 4, 5 years from now, it'll slowly hit you. And I see it. There's often times where I'm a little bit exhausted and I'm asking myself do I really want to do this? And or should I maybe I can cut corners here a little bit because I'm really exhausted. I'm really tired of having to do all this stuff. But it's real. Burnout is definitely real. And I think the best tip of advice is to just take it slow, take it step by step, right? If you're going to do something, just tell yourself, okay, if I'm going to do this, make sure you're doing it right. If not, then don't do it for now. Take a break, right? Maybe come back later. Maybe it's not today. It's got to be tomorrow then, You just have to push yourself, but at the same time, be reasonable, right? You know yourself better than anybody else. And, yeah.
Yeah. I'm experiencing burnout. That's why he said, I'm actually asking this.
I didn't know you were gonna ask, so I just felt being a good friend and asking.
Thanks, man.
It happens, man. It's real. I mean, I would say you'll feel there's just so much to do, and you just don't know what the next step is gonna be, right? But sometimes taking a day or 2 days, or taking a little bit extra time, and really thinking it and putting some time into it, or maybe even time for yourself, will kind of clear your mind a little bit, give you a different perspective. It's all it's tough though. It's tough.
Yeah. Interesting. Thanks, Chef.
But let's get right into the nitty gritty. Box break culture. Past 2 years, box break culture box breaking as a whole has blown up in the Pokemon space. It's been a part of the sports card space for a while now. And eventually it was going to hit the Pokemon community. And when it hit the Pokemon community, it was hit with a lot of pushback initially, saying people who break cards are scalpers and they only care about the money. There was a negative stigma that was associated with box breaking. Then and to this day it's not entirely there. That stigma isn't entirely there, but there is there's still a degree of that. So I just wanted to kind of like have, an open kind of discussion about box break culture and see where that goes, and just have like a good, discussion about that. So
Sure. Yeah.
Yizzy, I want to, I think this is like a good time for you to kind of like talk about your experience with breaking cards and doing sales with cards, because that kind of started within the past 2 years.
Oh man, I'm trying to think about like where to even start. So like the first thing that I enjoyed was like, you buy a pack of cards and you go home and you just open it, you don't get your hit, that's it, right? I think people take for granted at the beginning that like when you're in there and you actually finally join a box break and you're a part of a community, you can be, oh, Jim over there got it this time, but then the next day, like, I got it, and then everybody's like kind of cheering, like, oh, dude, that's awesome. You see the fire emoji, you see it, and it's awesome to do that. Like people pay maybe a small premium for that, so like that's what people take for granted at the beginning. I think right now box break culture is like so normal, like it's normalized right now that that's not necessarily the issue. Um, so that's like my first impression, like when I first started breaking boxes.
Yeah,
Yeah,
I think
because
it's
oh,
go
go
ahead.
ahead.
Oh, go ahead.
Oh, I was just gonna say, and the only reason why like I pose this question is because often at times, like I think you asked me this question, like maybe 2, 3, maybe a couple of months ago. You were like, Shiv, is it okay for someone who produces content to sell packs above market value? And I think my answer to you was, of course, because that's their time, right? You're associating someone's time, and you factor that in with the cost of whatever product you're selling. So, I think a lot of people have pushback when something sells for over market value. And if it goes way above market value, there's even more pushback. But they don't understand how much time, how much that individual values their time. So like for you, Yizzy, oftentimes like if something goes above market value, someone might say something to you, saying like, "Oh no, like you shouldn't be in the stream. Like market value for this is this, right?" Or so on and so forth. And I kind of wanted to talk about that, is like putting a value towards your time in conjunction with the sales of whatever product you're selling, because um, that's something that needs to be discussed here, because I
I
think
feel like that's a big factor too.
yeah.
But and then IslandGrown can like pitch into this too. But when I transition more over to whatnot, the community and how you sell is completely different then. So one of the big key
Auctions now,
factors,
right? It's not a price you set. It's now an auction. So a little bit different
right?
dynamic, right?
Correct. And when someone's like, "Oh, it's going for 170 on eBay," first thing I say, "Well, go buy it on eBay." Go get scammed. Go like get it and say like, "Oh, question it if it's resealed," and then go return it, and then make a claim for it, and then have PayPal hold your money for 2 months, and then now this pack or whatever it may be that you wanted to buy is on hold for the next 3 months. When you're live, I'm showing you the packs. There's also like 30, 40 other people in there saying like, yeah, I pulled a Dark Charizard. I pulled a Lugia in the last pack, Or if it's like a completely sealed box, you can be like, you're almost guaranteed that like, 1 out of 3 hits and whatever it may be. So it's like,
Funny is,
yeah,
you know what's funny is when you said that, when someone says that in like your channel or your stream, I often find that the people that make certain comments like that, they never buy anything anyways. You guys ever notice that? I mean, I don't know if it's going to be 100% true, but it's something that I've kind of noticed as well. Some people that are haters, or some people that are kind of trying to go against you, or go back on you. They are the same people that don't ever purchase anything, or probably wouldn't even have purchased it even if it was market or under market price. They just want to get on the internet and chat with some people and maybe cause a little drama. They're the same guys that go to Costco and complain about cold free samples. You know what I'm saying? So it's those kind of people. So
yeah,
it's always gonna be people like that, especially when it's like online and there's no repercussion to things that they type behind
yeah.
username, Jackass69 or whatever it is. So it's tough.
Well, when you
It's
started at
really
a
tough.
dollar, you were like, "Yo, Pokemon 59." I didn't even see one bid from you when it was at a dollar, or like $2 for the vintage pack, or even if if it's a $500 pack. I didn't even see your
Right.
name around there. There's 30 bids. Where was your name? Like, because I'm
Two
looking
different
at the
dynamics.
screen.
hmm Yeah, exactly. And then
Yeah.
after that, something that you can say as well is, hey, how come when I do auctions and things sell for undervalue, you don't see me complaining, do you? You know what I mean? I put items up for auction. A lot of times they'll sell undervalued. Now, keep in mind, sales from like a store and like selling packs and breaks is a different dynamic totally from like auctions, right? But in the auction world, it's like, hey, I mean, I don't say anything when, prices are selling for lower, right? It's an auction. It's what somebody's willing to pay, right? But you're right. You're absolutely right on, that authenticity and that ability to get it from you, right? The actual person you, and like what Shiv says, your time and everything like that as well is something that should be valued. Um, I think kind of going back and talking about box break culture to kind of started up here is box breaks used to just be simply open the box, sell the packs. Right?
Mhm.
Sometimes people would rip it, but it would just people would just buy the packs. Something that's been on Instagram for like forever. You know what I mean?
Yeah.
It's been there for a long time when packs were even like double digits for some of the packs that are triple, quadruple digits nowadays. It's always something that's been there. But with content creation through like streaming on like Whatnot or streaming on Twitch or these different platforms, I think there's breakers on TikTok and all things like that. That's where some of this box break, pushback has started as well. Now, I'm gonna talk about some things here about box breaks and maybe even give some tips of advice for people that are doing box breaks on some things that they should do that can improve and enhance the experience of box breaking. I think box breaking is an experience. That's one of the biggest things, right? It's one of the most important things. You're providing the content, right? I always tell people, the same person can buy the pack from somewhere else, maybe for a little bit cheaper, right? Than we're buying it from you. But for you, if they enjoy your content, they enjoy who you are, they want to support the community, they'll purchase the pack at the price that you've put, right? You're not forcing them to buy it. And on the contrary, if you do an auction, right, you are not forcing someone to bid whatever they want to bid. People are bidding and purchasing things out of their own free will. They're using their own money how they want to use it. For other people to criticize how somebody else wants to use the money and how much they want to spend is, I don't know, just kind of weird in my personal opinion. But as a box breaker, one of the most important things, one of the most successful things you can do as a box breaker is always provide that atmosphere and that experience for the person, right? I think that's the most important. There are box breakers out there that, I mean, I obviously won't name, that are there just to sell the packs. They just want to make the money and sell the packs. And I think that's okay too, but I think the makings of a good box breaker is someone that wants to provide more, right? Enhance it with that knowledge, enhance it with authenticity, and enhance it by giving you an experience on the packs that you open, whether they're Rebel Clash or whether they're first edition base set packs, right? Providing that value is the most important. Something that I've seen as well is that a lot of content creators, I don't know if I started this, but I feel like I never saw people, really making it an experience, like I said, or really giving away bonuses, or making different things that you would give away at the end of a box break before I started doing that. I started doing like a lot of different box breaks before a lot of people were doing box breaks, and people started noticing what works. And I think they noticed that by giving the viewer the experience, the buyer the experience, that's what's going to bring them value. And at the same time, that's going to be able to help them to sell different boxes so that they can make some money and continue doing what they're doing as well. So I'm not sure if that kind of falls in line with you've experienced doing box breaks, but that's what I think in terms of box breaks.
Hmm.
Yeah.
Yeah, I tried doing the whole box break thing way before Whatnot was a thing, and quickly figured out, hey, doing breaks and stuff is just not me, and I'm content with that. I have my own means of doing sales, and I'm perfectly happy with what I'm currently doing. And so hearing that, it's pretty cool that you and Yizzy take the time out to create this sort of experience for your audience and people that are participating in your sales. I guess like my question to you is, and this is like a constant conversation that I have with Yizzy, because like I'm always interested in trying to see how things are moving with Whatnot all the times, or box breaking in general. But nowadays I feel like there's so many box breakers that are all relatively doing the same thing, where they are doing giveaways. They are, making it an experience. How do you feel like you have to adapt, like very, very fast, very, very often, to kind of, beat out other people and just like figure out other things? Like how much time are you putting into like sitting down and thinking, about different ways to outdo your quote unquote competitors, that are kind of doing the same thing, in that relative space?
I would say, I wonder, this doesn't sound conceited, right? I would say, I think the way I do box breaks is peak. It
Okay.
is, it is something that I provide, and the way I do it that nobody else can do. And let me explain why. So with streaming and content creating, right, from the beginning, building the community, that's always been my core, right? I am where I am and starting to do box breaks before even doing box breaks, right? I can provide myself, I can, pay my rent, pay my mortgage, right? Put food on the table. I have always been able to do that from before with just content creation, right?
Mhm.
And now with the integration of box breaks, one of the things that I do the most is that people know when they buy things from my community, they're not just supporting me like, oh, they're just supporting me so I can buy my next ramen, right? They know that they're innately supporting me to support the entirety of the community through my different giveaways that we do, through different charities that we do throughout the entirety of the year. And I think that's something that a lot of other new people who have not seen my community or has been in my community knows that I do. Right? Last year we just planted a well. We created an entire well in Africa to support a village. They didn't have any water, so an entire well was actually drilled and made for the village. And there's actually a video on the channel as well that we have of the people wearing the shirts
Wow.
and the stickers. So those are
Yeah.
different projects I want to do, right? I'm able to support myself already. So I use a
Yeah.
lot of these revenue and profits that we make from selling packs, selling box breaks to give back, and of course, giveaways, Twitter giveaways, Instagram giveaways, right? Several
Yeah.
hundred thousands of dollars of giveaways
Yeah.
throughout the year, but also funding and doing these other projects that we can work together as a community to help more people out there in the world. So that's something that I actively strive to do, right? It's a very unique situation because as any other content creator, as any other box breaker, they're worried about selling packs so that they make enough money to pay their rent, right? For me, I'm in that unique position where that's not going to affect me. I don't need to min max every single thing I sell. If I make some money on some, great. We'll have more money for more funds to do more things. If we don't make money on certain things, like it's not the biggest of deal, right? So that's why I think in terms of box breaks, I'm at the peak at where I am. I don't care if we're making money or not making money at all in what we do, right? Obviously, we make more, we can do more, but yeah,
Right.
that's kind of it in a nutshell. I don't know if that kind of makes sense or gives you a different perspective now, right?
Yeah, no, it does. I've been thinking that recently because I transitioned from YouTube breaks to whatnot, and then I'm slowly kind of seeing that, like, especially how you're saying, and I see the difference because, like, at that time it was like, of course you can do both, but like I haven't been giving love back to the YouTube side, and I'm definitely seeing the repercussions of it. So yeah, no, that 100% makes sense. Do you
Yeah.
do you have anything to add to that, Shiv? Oh, you're eating.
No, it's actually pretty admirable that you've put yourself into this position where you're set and you're allowed to take whatever extra profits you receive to be able to help other people out or to be able to help your community or just grow your community in a way like you've already invested in yourself so much that you're set. So now you're investing back into your community as well as investing into other communities that are not necessarily in Pokemon or, watching your stream right now. That's pretty admirable. And in a way it makes sense as to why if something sells for way more than actual market value on your streams, that makes 100% sense because it's like these guys know that IslandGrown is going to utilize whatever funds that come out of this in the best way possible. And that's a pretty that's actually
Why would they pay more, right? If you think about it,
right.
like why would they pay more? We have a couple auctions before in the past. We had like this Team Rocket first edition box that went crazy. Absolutely
Mhm.
crazy. I had two of my biggest community members like bid the packs like ridiculously crazy. And it was all in part to support the channel, right? And I was telling people were like, oh man, why is someone paying like $1,000 for a first ed Team Rocket pack, right?
Mhm.
And then they're looking at me and they're like, why are you charging so much? I'm like, bro, I'm not charging anything. I start all of them at $1. If the pack finishes $1, right, it's $1. You know what I'm saying? But
Mhm.
why are they bidding so much, right? You don't think that these guys buying the packs are? You think they're that stupid that they are willing to buy a pack for $1,000? They're buying it because of the community. They're buying it because it's me, right, doing the content and being there, right?
Yeah.
And I guess in a sense, I also told people sometimes people like to flex. You know what I mean? If they bid on something and they're from my community, sometimes on Twitch people drop crazy donations. I don't know if you guys have seen like $10,000, $50,000 donations on like Twitch. People have donated crazy things. It's
Yeah.
just a way for them to flex, create some controversy and some, oh my God, I can't believe you paid $1,000 for a Team Rocket Team Rocket pack. These are the same people that are from my Twitch channel, right? Pretty much all of them that I saw that purchased those packs, they're all
Yeah.
from the community, right? So that's something I think the general public doesn't realize, right? Why would
Yeah.
somebody pay more? Why would somebody bid up to that amount and be willing to pay that? But
Yeah, I
that's
mean,
what
or
somebody's
just
willing to pay.
or
Yeah.
just the whole streaming thing and someone giving you money kind of thing always fascinated me. and it in a way it still fascinates me because like I just started streaming on Twitch I believe a few
nice.
months ago, and it's a grind. Every whenever you start something out, it's a grind, but like I get I just started getting donations recently, and when people subscribe to me, it's like, oh wow, or like people gifting other people subs. It's I see why they do it. It's because
They want to support you.
yeah, they want to support you, and I think that's like
Yeah.
the coolest thing that my community or just the overall Pokemon community has to offer. And I think that's like that's like, to me, I think that's like the coolest thing. And in a way, it's like, even though I said like, oh no, you don't have to do that, in a way they feel like, it's okay to, donate, or in a way it's okay to overspend, because they feel like they've received so much value from you, that's their way of kind of giving back to you or saying thanks in a way, which I think is just a
knowing that
cool
that
thing.
money is going to somewhere good, like whether it be to wells or it's being feeded back into the community as well.
Yeah.
Right. That's why I say, like, if you have a bunch of different content creators, and if all of them sold the same box and all of them start the auctions at $1, why would some content creators have higher prices of packs than other, right? Why would it end higher, right? The price is not set. It's just what somebody's, willing to pay. And I think it's more of a culture difference. When it comes to Whatnot, when it comes to maybe YouTube or the general population, for people that don't know like the Twitch culture and some of the craziness that goes on there, and some of the different crazy viewers out there that are willing to donate and support a certain content creator to ensure that they continue to be able to make content because they enjoy the content, is something that they don't know, right? I mean, like, because I'm just a small fry as a Twitch content creator. You know what I mean? I mean, I'm nothing as if, even close to any of those other content creators. And I'm gonna tell you right now, like, you guys don't even know, man. Right? There are some crazy creators with some crazy viewers that donate some crazy money, far beyond what you can imagine. You're thinking like 10,000, right? You're thinking like 100,000. No, I'm talking about $1 million, millions of dollars, right? That can be donated to different Twitch streamers over the course of years, man. It's insane, dude.
That's
It's
wild.
absolutely insane. But the thing is, people are, willing to do that because that person has built up that community to where it is, right? So, yeah, it's different. It's different. It's crazy. It's pretty crazy.
Guys,
And,
if you're
I think the most important
Okay.
thing is to never take it for granted, though. That's what I always tell people, right? Everything is important, and nothing ever should be taken for granted. Go ahead.
Absolutely.
Note, never take for granted.
I think that's pretty sweet. But guys, if you're enjoying this podcast, make sure you hit that like. Make sure you hit subscribe. Make sure you share it with your aunt, uncle, your dog on Instagram, whatever Pokemon Facebook groups you're in. Make sure you share that. We greatly appreciate that. Don't forget, next week we also have PokeRev on the podcast. So, back to back, we got legends. We got this legend right over here, and then we got another legend coming up next week. So,
I don't know if I'm a legend, huh?
I don't know, man. I think it's really cool.
Another guy that loves Pokemon.
It's for sure. It's really cool because like we've been wanting you on the podcast since we started it. Like when you had just followed us when we started out on Yizzy's channel, and you were watching us then. It was like, oh wow, this guy's like watching us on like we just started this podcast, and not many people were watching us at that time. It was really cool. And so like since then you've been on our list, and it just kind of conveniently worked out that we ran into you in Orlando, and was like, oh hey, you want to be on the podcast?
Everything happens for a reason, man.
Yeah,
we just
for
go
sure.
with the flow, and everything happens for a reason. Yeah.
For sure.
Let's
I'm gonna
touch on
take
that real quick. I hate that aspect of Instagram and whatnot. Or even on Twitch when you like follow. I hate when it tells you that you went into somebody's channel. Like, bro, let me be sitting on my bed going into the thing. Don't tell anybody I'm there. I just wanna go in, and like I don't want anybody to say anything.
Yeah.
Always yeah.
Facts. I think they fixed it a little bit on
Did they?
on the Whatnot end. Yeah.
Oh, okay.
I
Okay.
think so. Like on the PC, it still shows it, but on my phone, it doesn't show it anymore. And I don't know if I was simulcasting. That's why. But yeah. Especially 100%. I agree with that. And then I have like that little golden controller that they gave me on Whatnot. So, like when I go in, they'll be like, "Oh, Mod's in the chat. Everybody be quiet. Yizzy's in here." And I'm like,
I know.
Yizzy's a narc, guys. Yizzy's a narc, so don't be messing around when he's watching you.
Facts, big money facts. But what do you think about like the future of box breaking? Like, have you ever given that a thought?
What do you mean? The future of box breaking, as in like vintage box breaking or regular box breaking?
vintage or modern, like, do you feel like I just see it trending, right? We talked about at the beginning, like, oh, nobody approved of it, and now like it's so common. Like, do you see it dying down? Do you see it still trending? Do you see like another level to it? Because you mentioned that like you're at the peak right now. Like, do you know how it'll like maybe transition into or evolutionize in different ways?
I think things are always ever changing, right? Things will change depending on the ecosystem, what's going on. But in terms of box breaks and packs and Pokemon itself, it's here for a long time, man. It's here for a long time. So I would say though, I think a lot of people that are in it for profits, you know what I mean, in it to make money, and that's their only focus instead of creating content as well as creating memories and an experience with the people that are jumping in. Those people will fall out over time, and they will find that it would be potentially right become more and more difficult for them to do what they do and survive the way they survive, right? And the people that are creating content and making experiences and building communities will be there, right? Will continue to be there.
You have to have
For me
you
though,
have to have both.
yeah, definitely. I agree. I agree. I think for me though, I'm always gonna be here, right? Whether we're opening packs, whether we're doing breaks, whether we're playing games, day one until now of content creating, we'll still be here. And that thing is, I work on building the community. That's the most important thing to me, right? If we're not breaking cards next week, that's fine, right? What's the next thing that we do? But it's together as a community. What's the next thing that we're gonna be doing together? Yeah. But I think it's gonna be here for a while. It's gonna be here for a long time. It's gonna, honestly, forever.
I think the only thing that would probably say not forever is the amount of boxes available. Like, the question is and always will be, like, how many boxes are left of this? Like when you're talking about vintage boxes, and as one of our editor, we were talking to our editor Kang, literally last night and the day before, he was just basically telling us like they're onboarding 70 plus people onto Whatnot like very often now. So like there's 70 other people that are wanting to get in the game, that are wanting to get big boxes, and my question is the sustainability of the boxes and how fast things are going to be broken. Because I remember back in 2019, and Yizzy knows this, 2019, and like I was lurking in 2018 when someone was about to open up a box, even a normal base set box. It was a moment. It was a big thing. Whether it was unlimited, whatever, it was like, oh wow, that person's actually opening up a base set box. Let me watch this. Now it's like being open so often that I think so many people are, in a way, kind of desensitized. I don't want to say that word, but it's getting to that point where, like, there's being boxes broken every single day. My question is like how long it's probably gonna last. So I always ask that. That's always something that's in the back of my mind.
Yeah, I think over time boxes will slowly dry up. I mean, there's not a lot of boxes out there, but there's still a lot of boxes out there. I don't know if that makes any sense at all, but like the rate of which these boxes are being opened is fast, but not fast at the same time. There's a lot, but not a lot. So I think it's gonna be here for quite a long time. Especially some of these vintage boxes. People are probably still holding on to them, but who knows, right? In the future, it might be too expensive. It might be too rare. There will probably be a time frame where the boxes don't make sense to open anymore, just because of how rare they are and the value of them having them sealed inside of a box, right? That's something that we've slowly kind of had some problems with, right? Because I want to open every box. I want to have every box opened and enjoy every box and let everybody enjoy all the different arts of all the different cards and all the different sets. But some of them are just too rare. Some of them are just too scarce out there that it's not possible. And even being able to find a box, because it's so scarce and rare, it's so expensive to purchase that when you open the box, a lot of the value is having the box still sealed. So we're definitely running into some issues with that.
Yeah,
with
I know
prices
Rev
of
doesn't
box
open.
breaks.
Yeah, I know Rev doesn't open. Like he hasn't opened a EX Deoxys box, for his typical breaks.
Because it won't
because of
sell.
that.
Like for him to sell it at a price that is reasonable for what the box is worth, it's almost impossible because of how
Yeah.
rare the box is to have it sealed.
Yeah.
We recently just did this weekend actually an expedition opening, and that was, I was so excited. I mean, if you watch that stream, I was so excited to even be able to open the box. Right, it was an expensive box for sure, but we were able to find it at an okay price, get some breakers in, and enjoy the box for the whole community, for everybody to see. Right, especially a lot of new people coming in that never seen those cards, never
That
experienced
box
any of those cards
price
at all.
has gone up.
Yeah, definitely.
Yeah.
And there's just not a lot too. Even if you have the appropriate money for whatever that box is selling at the market, you won't find that many of them available anymore. So, yeah.
Yeah. So one of our viewers on here has asked, what is your typical audience range in age?
I think a lot of my viewers are actually a little bit older. I would say around the generation I am. Maybe just like half a generation before or my generation. I've noticed a lot of people that enjoy Pokemon now and are collecting Pokemon now. Now there's still kids, there's teens and stuff like that are watching the content and collecting and everything. But I think a lot of the collectors nowadays and people into TCG are around the age of I feel like 20ish to maybe even 30ish. Right? I'm turning 30 this year, and it's the simple reason that we grew up with it. Right? We grew up with Pokemon. We grew up with playing the game. We grew up with collecting the cards. We might not have had enough money back then. I mean, I know I was really broke, so I barely had, I had to get, trades and stuff to get in my binder to actually fill it up. But those memories are kind of what carried through. And now people our age have the money for it. People are working. People have a job, and they can afford buying different boxes and opening packs. So reliving those memories and, collecting again is kind of what brought people back. And that's why going back to the beginning, telling what you got, what the most important part of the community and what the most important aspect I enjoy is creating those memories. Because memories are what got us to where we are now and why we enjoy Pokemon now. So why not continue making the memories we have now to further in the future continue to enjoy as well, right? That's the most important thing, I feel. Yeah.
Do you ever see yourself opening like high-end Magic the Gathering or Yu-Gi-Oh? Because obviously you did say you competed with Yu-Gi-Oh, but do you ever see yourself doing a lot more breaks with those kind of TCGs or relatively newer TCGs?
If there's interest, sure. I mean, I'm definitely invested in Magic. I'm still collecting Magic. I got Neon Dynasty collector boxes. I love those things. I'm waiting for what is that Ghost of the Past 2 coming out next month. So I'm pretty excited for a lot of the TCGs. I still collect a lot of the main TCGs: Yu-Gi-Oh, Magic, Pokemon, and maybe a little bit of Dragon Ball Super. Right, just a little bit.
Oh, Digimon?
I do have some Digimon. I do have Digimon.
Let's go.
I bought a couple boxes of the version 1.0 when they made them, right? I was like, oh, nice, 1.0. This is the face set, bro. They printed that thing to oblivion, man. There's like infinite amounts of it. I'm like, I don't feel special anymore. Like, print a lot, but bro, why you print so much, man? It doesn't feel special, bro.
Series 1 and 2 is heavily printed. It's only when you have Series 3 through 6 that's when it's like very, very short printed. Very, very tough to get. Like I had like 9 packs of Series 5 and I ripped through all of them. And it was just a cool experience. Yeah, he has vintage. The Series 1.
I have some vintage. But I'm also talking about the modern. When I was talking about modern.
Oh, okay.
I do have vintage as well. I have the Series 1 and 2 boxes, but the other ones are even rare. Yes. I know you got some Digimon, so I know you know your stuff. I know that. I see your posts. Yeah. You got some fire.
Yeah, we definitely went in on a couple of Digimons earlier because we're like, we're Greymon. That's like pretty much a Charizard of Digimon.
Pretty much, yeah.
And he's sick too. I mean, I liked him. I watched him a lot. Definitely have the. Yeah, man. I'm proud that I snapped that from Charizard King on eBay.
You got it for a good price. That card's like selling for like $300 to $3,500 now.
Really?
Yeah.
That's crazy, dude. Yeah, I love collecting memories. That's what I always tell people. People like ask me what I like to collect. I like to collect memories, which don't really mean anything. Like it's hard to tell what is that, right? I just like collecting memories. Things that have a story, things that have a meaning is what I like to collect. Yeah.
I do remember you saying that. I watched a podcast with that you're on with what's his name?
Pokenomics.
Yeah.
Yeah.
And then he was like, "What's your favorite? What's your like most prized card, favorite card?" And you're like, "I don't know, man." And you're just like looking around. You're just like memories,
man.
Memories. Like, I think you whipped out like a Pikachu from the Japanese.
Yeah, that's the favorite one. That's the favorite one. It's behind me.
Yeah. I remember that.
That one has a lot of memories, right? That's an example of memories. It's a Shibuya Pikachu. I went to to Japan with the wife in 2019. That was the opening of the Shibuya Pokemon Center. They handed those out. I got a couple of them, brought them back. First CGC submission ever. This is when CGC was kind of just, slowly getting popular. Sent it in, came back as a perfect. So, yeah, that's insane. You know what I mean? Like back then, it was really insane. Oh no, yeah, it's crazy. So.
Yeah, let me go ahead and talk about our sponsors real fast. Before we just kind of end out the podcast, because we have about 9 minutes left. We are sponsored by TCG Stadium. TCG Stadium is a online card shop based in Nashville, Tennessee. They pretty much sell everything when it comes to Pokemon and Yu-Gi-Oh! So for any product that you're looking for, whether it's booster boxes, ETBs, hit up tcgstadium.com. Next up is the Pokemon Network. Ken Lee, he is your one-stop shop to buy anything and everything from the lowest of low to the most high end of product. If he doesn't have it, then he'll probably source it out to you in some way, shape, or form. Like, that guy has something new every single day or week. Next up is Collector. We're not really sponsored by them, but we like helping them out because myself and Yizzy, we always talk about wanting to provide value for our audience, and Collector is essentially an app where it tracks your collection. It pretty much allows you to put whatever cards you have from a multitude of different TCGs, even basketball, Funkos, and it allows you to see your portfolio. It's something that's really cool that I think parents are able to do with their kids, because it's like, hey, you're opening something with your kid, and you pull something really awesome, you put it in the Collector app, and in a way you're teaching your kids a level of financial responsibility. And they're always showing something that's trending on there. It's getting really, really close to like something that, it's kind of like the stock market of alternative assets, which I think is like super cool. I think that's just like the future of TCGs as a whole. And I think Collector is going to be the one that makes the headway for that. But yeah, those are our sponsors, and we're also sponsored by Double Infinity Gaming. Double Infinity Gaming is an online card shop based in Florida, and they pretty much have anything and everything that you need with a multitude of brand new TCGs, and Will and Julie are always able to help you out as far as wanting to play and learn TCGs. So that's a really cool thing.
Don't forget your last sponsor, Raid Shadow Legends. Download today using the link down below. Poke Tea Time. Download today. You get 100,000 crystals, one summoning shard. I'm just kidding. Bro, there's like a raid sponsor like every YouTube video, man. Like all of last year.
Hey, Raid, you guys can sponsor us. I don't care. We need the money.
I'll play your game for a week.
I'll play your game for like a few hours.
They hit up everybody, man. Should hit them up.
No, we're not even monetized yet. We're working on it. But I think this podcast was very productive. I think it was pretty awesome having you jump on with us. You're more than welcome to come onto the podcast, here on out. And if you ever have like a big project about to drop, or a big break box that you're about to, break, then you're more than welcome to come on here and plug it in. But I kind of want to give you the time to kind of plug yourself in, and talk about whatever you're up to, whatever you're working on, and what do you plan, or things that's coming up for you.
If you guys want to follow and check out some of the content, we stream on Twitch multiple times in a week, as well as we got YouTube content as well. We got the Pokemon YouTube channel, so lots of content on there. So if you missed anything on Twitch, it's going to be on that channel as well. So you can see all the highlights and some of the fun moments that we have on the channel. Feel free to stop by, ask questions anytime. That's what we're here about, man. I think the Pokemon community is probably one of the best communities, right? It has some of the best people in terms of content creators as well as, viewers. So hopefully we continue to grow that over time as the year goes on, and enjoy the entirety of the Pokemon hobby together. See where it takes us. For sure.
Yeah, I would like to hang out more at one of these Collecticons if you do plan on going to any other future Collecticon. We're gonna be in.
I'm in Dallas.
Yeah, Dallas. We work with Collecticon, so they pretty much have us out for all the events there. So it's pretty cool. We're pretty blessed and fortunate in that regard, because they've been providing us nothing but opportunities. But yeah, we'd love to hang out more, and just eat some food and hang out and have a good time.
Hit me up, no problem.
Yeah, for sure. Yizzy, do you have anything else to say?
Are you attending anything? You got any plan as far as traveling goes, or you gonna be in Hawaii for a while?
Just go with the flow. So Dallas is the next one. I mean probably all the Collecticons except for like North Carolina, and then whichever one that's in October. I pretty much will try to go to all the other ones. Before this whole COVID thing, I'm at every convention, dude. PAX East, PAX South, PAX Prime, TwitchCon, VidCon. I'd be going to all the conventions.
Yeah, I was thinking about going to PAX East, but that's just so close, and it's in Boston. But I don't know. I'm still like on the fence with it. I had Super Duper Danny and Jordan Fringe they were kind of like convincing me to go, but it's like I won't know anyone else besides them going. So
it's fun. It's fun. You should go. It's a different experience, especially with like games and stuff like that. There's some TCG stuff though.
Yeah.
But lots of games and lots of people. It's really big for networking. It's what it is. Those conventions, I'll tell you guys, I guess, for networking, it's the biggest. right?
Mhm.
That's where you can meet all different people to network and create more content. Maybe even people, management teams, different sponsors, things like that. Conventions are the best. Well worth your time as any content creator out there to go to those conventions. Also
Mhm.
really fun too. Yeah.
Yeah, that's why I'm like on the fence with it because I'm really thinking about going. It's just that I just contracted out a videographer, so it's like I'm trying to
Mm,
for Dallas and Charlotte, North Carolina, because Charlotte, North Carolina is like 2 hours for me. It's like an easy
okay.
drive, so for me it's like an easy thing to do, and um I gotta see certain things and move money a certain way because I don't want to spend money out of my own pocket. So I've been using sponsorship. Well, myself and Yizzy, we've been using our sponsorship money to go to these
Mm.
different events. So we're working on that. But hey, we're
Yeah.
working on stuff.
I'm
Always
excited,
working,
man.
always
Dallas should
grinding.
be fun. Dallas should be fun. Hopefully Dallas is as fun as Orlando, and it's gonna be a
Oh
blast.
yeah, it
Yeah.
should be. I love Dallas.
Yeah, Long
Yeah,
Beach
yeah,
should be a
Dallas
big
was
one
probably
too.
my
I think
favorite
I
out of
think I think I think Long Beach will probably be the biggest one. You think or what?
That's a difficult question
I don't
because
know.
like that's the same weekend as Worlds, and so like people are now thinking about going to
Ooh,
Pokemon Worlds
yeah.
versus Collecticon. But I think that a lot of like money conscientious adults will probably go to Collecticon because it's like, oh hey, this is an event at the same time. Like you
Hmm.
know this, you would have to spend thousands of dollars just to go to the UK for London,
Right,
and then versus maybe $1,000 just for the entirety of your trip at Collecticon. So who knows?
right.
But
And I guess the lingering pandemic is still kind of there, right? So people are a little
mhm,
more wary to
mhm,
potentially go.
absolutely, absolutely.
Maybe. Yeah, I think there's a lot of people from like the Bay and California that just get FOMO because they know they can't travel out to the East Coast. So I think you're onto something. I think the one in LA is gonna be ginormous
Yeah, should be a great one.
with
Hopefully, I don't
Mhm.
people.
spend too much money. I spent way too much money the last one. I'm freaking broke, dude.
What'd you
I'm
buy?
broke.
What's your
I just bought too much stuff, dude. I just bought way too much stuff. Like too much stuff that I'm just like, all right, because like I always tell people I get baited, right? When it comes to me, like I'm sure you feel the same way. You see something and you're like, okay, should I really buy it? You know what I mean? And then you tell yourself, no, probably don't need it. But with me, I have this second layer that debates me, and that second layer is, should I buy that? Nah, I don't need that. But I could give it away. But I could use it and give it to somebody.
Mm.
We can use that as our next giveaway. And then in my mind, I'm like, yeah, okay, we have funds for that. Yeah, let's just buy it. It'll just be one of our next giveaways. Yeah, sweet. So that's why people that work with me or like have sold me stuff, they know now to always debate me and they just go, so you want to buy some stuff? These are gonna be great for giveaways, right? And I
people
always get baited
love
because of that.
you.
Yeah, yeah.
Dang, that
That's
second
very
layer
interesting to hear. Yeah, yeah.
Mhm.
was pretty
Cause
funny.
yeah, that is funny. But I
But
guess we are approaching our time, our hour. Gizzy, you wanna go ahead and close us out unless you have anything else to say?
do we
Oh,
want
oh,
to
oh,
like?
oh. I was gonna say we're also available on Spotify and Apple Podcast. If you haven't,
Uh,
you know, listened to us with your ear holes on those platforms, whatever, whenever you're driving or something, please do so. Give us a 5-star rating as well. Otherwise, Gizzy will cry.
Yeah, I'll 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 put you in a jujitsu move that I haven't gone in like 2 weeks.
You
Our
need to.
running biz. I've been taking jujitsu, man. Learning the martial arts of grappling.
hey,
And I told Shiv we should set up a Poke Tea time jujitsu match. Everybody would love
Dude,
to see me and Shiv roll.
no,
dude,
you're the only
I'd want that.
person. You're the only person, man. I don't want to touch another sweaty
Alonso
dude.
just said he's down for that. See?
He's
Yeah,
lying to you. He's only
no,
saying.
no, I'm not going in. I watch though. I watch
Yeah,
though.
see?
I watch the comments too. I watch, bro.
Yeah, you can be one of the commentators if you don't mind.
Yeah, I'll commentate. But yeah, like in the future, if you guys have any other podcasts you guys are doing, let me know. All right, I'm definitely always down to jump on. Just let me know ahead of time, and I'll make time.
Absolutely,
Appreciate
absolutely. And guys, we just started our Discord a few weeks ago, and it's slowly growing. Make sure you join our Discord because there we get to hear and hang out with you guys. We get to talk shop about what's going on in the Pokemon community, and maybe, just maybe, one of those topics that you bring up shows up on the Poke Tea Time podcast.
And we could do giveaways. Just like
Yeah.
Island.
Oh, here we go. Here we go. Yeah, here we go. Do some
mean,
giveaways. Yeah.
I mean, I already ran a couple of giveaways
The word.
on.
Learn from the IslandGrown. I've been taking notes, man. Look at this. Just notes for days.
I mean, I'm already ahead of you.
Notes.
Like I gave this away, and then I gave a
There you
base
go.
set 2 theme box away for the channel. So,
Like I said,
Ahead
grow
of
the
the curve.
community, and we're gonna grow the community the right way. continue to enjoy the hobby together with creators and viewers. It's gonna be a great ecosystem for everybody. That's the goal.
But how we like to close out the podcast every week is we do this goofy little thing where we do like sips up, like we're holding drinking a tea, and then we go deuces.
Okay.
And then we salute and we say out, and that's how we sign out. And we've been doing it since like day one. So
yeah,
I'm down.
Are you ready?
I love it.
You
I'm ready.
Okay, let's go. Sips up,
Deuces.
deuces, and we're out.
See you guys in the next one.